Hey everyone, welcome back to the Hot Combs and Popcorn podcast. For those who don't know, my name is Brianna.
I'm Bobby. I almost forgot.
I didn't know the order. I'm Danielle.
Yeah. And one of the things that we like to do here on this podcast is review movies and television shows in Black culture that we should have seen by now. And at the end of it, we will discuss our thoughts and feelings as millennials, and we will be rating the movies and TV shows from a scale of 1 to 5 popcorns. Okay, so today, y'all didn't think we was going to review Coming to America without doing the sequel. Absolutely not. So in today's surprise episode, we are reviewing Coming to America. Okay, so this was written by Kenya Burris, Barry Blonstein. Hope I said the name right. David Sheffield, and then Justin Canoe was also a part of the storytelling. It was directed by Craig Brewer, and it was starring, like, who wasn't it starring, to be honest? Eddie Murphy, Eddie Murphy, Arsenio Hall, Jermaine Flower, Leslie Jones, Wesley Snipes, Kiki Lane, and just a plethora of people and guest stars, okay? Coming to America was released March 4th during the panoramic, okay? 2021, is rated PG-13, is an hour and 50 minutes. A quick synopsis. Spoiler alert, if you haven't seen Come to America, you might want to go watch it real quick, come back, and then listen, because I'm about to spoil it. So, Coming to America follows Akeem Jaffer, now the king of Zamunda, as he trains Lavelle, his bastard son from Queens, to become the next successor to inherit the throne of Zamunda. Okay? So, without further ado, we're getting into it. Guys, how did you guys feel about Coming to America 2?
Honestly, I typically don't like sequels or spin-offs or whatever you want to call it. I typically don't like them, but this one I really enjoyed. Like I thought it was so funny. I thought the acting was good. I was a little worried because I was like, the first one we were talking about how it was like blackety black, and I was like, well, is this one gonna have the same feeling? But it was just like, it was not the same, but it was the same. You know what I mean? Like it had what I wanted it to give. It had the costumes. It had the same man singing his little song.
I like to think that was a voiceover the second time.
Yeah, because he sounded better.
I like to think that's not him.
Mm-hmm.
But the first time, that was him.
It gave me what I needed to get. So that's how I feel.
It was exactly how I expected a Coming to America sequel to be. So in that sense, I wasn't necessarily surprised. And I wasn't underwhelmed either. I was just like, okay, here we are. And let us commence. I mean, they had some good zingers, I must say. They brought back Peaches. Peaches was my fave. That's all I wanted. So I was just happy to at least see her.
I don't know what it is about this movie. I don't remember who wrote the first one. Not gonna look it up right now, but there's like a formula that Coming to America has that works, that you just don't see movies coming out like. And I don't know if it's because it's a sequel, but like, I too was worried about it, right? Because, they've been doing a lot of remakes, even though this isn't technically a remake. They've been bringing back a lot of things from the past and not necessarily executing it well. But this executed perfectly. This was so, to me, now the first one was funny, but this one was so much funnier to me for the reasons of having certain comedians in it that wasn't in it before, the storyline. You can kind of get away with saying a little bit more stuff nowadays. And so a great time. It was a great time. I enjoyed watching it. I laughed out loud a couple of times. And I'm usually like the person that's texting LMAO with a face like that. So the fact that I was like laughing out loud, I think that really means something. So let's go into our highlights and lowlights, we'll start with the lowlights first. I'm sure there's plenty of highlights. So let's just start with the lowlights. What didn't maybe you guys like, had questions about?
Well, I know that we're just starting and I wasn't prepared to get into it yet, but I'm gonna just start it off. Is no one gonna talk about the fact that he was assaulted and his baby is a product of that. Like the way that they played it for comedy when we first saw what happened. And then again, when he was describing it to Lisa, who was mad at him for not telling him that he had a baby that he didn't know about. And he was like, well, Simi's written all over it, but it's not my fault that, Simi invited some women to the house and then they drugged me and then, had sex with me and now I have a baby. Like,
it's just,
I'm gonna have to call myself out because I did not even interpret it as that. Like I was like, this is hilarious. He's talking about wild boars. Like my brain did not process that, even though it was definitely date rape. Like it was for sure not a funny topic, but just like over my head. I did not. Yeah, I guess we're just gonna ignore it because I did not.
The way that they placed it in there, like, and it was just so weaved in, like, it's not even like a question, especially considering like how absurd the first movie was. Like, of course, something like this would happen. So
maybe it's because that's like it was such a thing that Simi did in the first movie that this makes sense. Mm-hmm. Even though, yes, he was assaulted. I don't even think Akeem realized he was assaulted. Like
nobody did.
That talks about the writing then, because in a world like this, a very PC world, with a lot of stuff that's going on, they definitely slid that right on in there, and I was just a kikiing. I was like, wow,
right, because it just
I didn't even
realize
register that was assault. I was like, this is a fun time.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, when you say it like that, you say it when you're just a child.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And also I was nervous when I saw Kenya Barris's name at the top of writers, only because like Blackish is cool. And then there's that other show, Black AF. I was like, I don't know, Kenya. I don't know. And so when I saw his name was at the very top, screenplay by Kenya Barris and two other people. I don't remember your names. I'm so sorry. I also didn't look them up, but
it's in the beginning of the episode. Mm-hmm.
Oh, right.
The writers
I don't remember. Yeah. I was looking at my notes. Anyway.
Sorry.
Yeah, I was nervous, but generally I'll accept it. I don't know. This wasn't like, I'm not excited by this movie, like it just feels like a movie that I've seen. Wow.
What are your low lights for Coming to America?
So, okay. I just thought, because this whole movie is like the span of a week, right? And I'm like,
is it? Sure.
It is, because the guy was like, yeah. So I was like, so why do you need to marry? I cannot remember her name, but like, why do you need to marry her? Instead, like, why can't y'all just date?
Bopoto, I think was her name. You're talking about what's her name's? Oh no, you're talking about the hairdresser. No,
yeah.
I was like, do y'all need to get married? Like you met 2 days ago.
But it's Harry and Bran for the first movie. The same thing that happened in the first movie.
It is.
Like
the continuity is there. But
the
like
continuity.
It is on brand, but also doesn't make sense. So like you're not officially an heir until you get married, because they were trying to do that with the daughter too before the son came. They were like, oh well, you're gonna get married now. So what?
Well, I think that like the whole point of him marrying Wesley Snipes' daughter was because they were going to go to war if he didn't.
Right.
I don't think him being married had anything to do with him becoming king. I think they trained him to become king because he was the only guy and they were following the traditions. But I didn't interpret it as him being married and him being king were two things that had to happen. Because
no, like I think it was the flip. So like he would have been king regardless, even if he didn't get married. Like the daughter, she needed to get married in order
king.
to be king, because they weren't going to let her be queen.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't know. I was just like, what? You don't. I guess we're not dating. I guess we're not doing that in Zamunda. We're not doing that. What is dating? You're getting married in a week.
Yeah, that did not curl all the way over for me. Also, another thing, they did all this talk about the people of Zamunda this, people of Zamunda that, but like, I just wish that we could see the people of Zamunda. Like, we were never in the towns, because I was thinking like, this is a movie about a country in Africa, but like, we don't get to see what the country actually looks like. All we saw was their castle in the backyard and that lion. I would have loved to see people on the streets, you know, like maybe instead of meeting Mika at the castle, maybe he met Mika outside or something. I don't know. Somewhere, like at the market, whatever, buying groceries.
Mika's the daughter.
Mika the hairdresser.
No. Her name was like, it started with an M. Like,
daughter's name.
Mika. The daughter. Oh, the daughter Mika.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like the daughter's daughter is Mika.
I meant the hairstylist. What's her Marimbe?
There you go. It did start with an M. It was like MIR or something, but I was like,
wait, or is that the other daughter? No, okay, so wait.
The Oma is his real daughter. And then I don't remember.
Because there was 3 daughters.
Yes, that's his real daughter.
Oh my gosh, I'm looking
right now. Tell? They both have the same eyebrows.
Oh, I could not tell. There was no way. But wow, now that I'm looking at her.
Really? She looks just like him to me.
Wow.
Wait a minute.
Because I've seen her when she was younger. Like, I've known for a while. I mean, because when I saw her, I was like, isn't that his daughter in real life? And I was like, I was like, it is one of his daughters.
Wow.
But she didn't look like Nicole to me. She looked like Eddie Murphy because like she has that like eyebrow forehead shape. And I was like, oh, that's cute.
Wow, this is the first credit that she has acting wise. So that's pretty cool. Congrats to her.
Which daughter is this?
The second one.
Oma.
Her name is Oma.
Really? Oh, the one that didn't really talk?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The one who had an attitude majority of the time.
Okay.
Yeah.
But cute for her.
Cute for her. Come on, I read it.
I completely suspended my belief, and I have no lowlights.
Oh,
so let's move to highlights.
Oh my God. Okay.
let's move to highlights. A highlight for me. This movie was so chaotic. I loved it.
Okay.
It was like a family reunion. There were people in this movie that was in this movie for absolutely no reason. Why is Gladys Knight here?
Why is that train to Zamunda? I was like, what is going on?
I was like, is this Essence Fest? Is this Essence Fest? Like, what is happening? It was so chaotic. It was so Black.
Mm-hmm.
You might as well have had the what's I'm not even gonna say it. I don't know. I'm not gonna say that. Whatever Beyonce's male dancers were in Homecoming, the one they were like on fake line, that might as well have just been Easy's backup people. Because these dudes were doing everything but signals at this point. I was like, this. What is I mean, like I said, I feel like this movie, nothing really happened other than all of the bajillion guest stars for absolutely no reason.
I love the cameo.
We're in a Morgan Freeman universe at this point.
Yes,
this man is liable to pop up at any moment, and you just gotta accept it.
I was like, why is Rick Ross here? Why
is Rick Ross here?
Trevor Noah?
I was like,
what is going on in this movie?
They literally went to every Black person they could think of. Like, you want to be in this movie? Like,
pandemic. We can shoot you in the corner. You ain't gotta stop somebody.
They all said yes. They knew it was gonna be like
it's so random. It Anyway, first that just tears. Yes, my first highlight is like this was just blackly black. This is just the blackest. They were like, what can we do to make this blacker than black? And they were like, hey, in the design of costumes, how about the hats that the like guards wear look like afros shaped as hats? Like it was so black down to every detail.
Yes.
I expect nothing less from Coming to America.
I actually wrote down a timestamp at 1 hour, 18 minutes, and 46 seconds. I noticed for the first time a girl in the back. She had this huge hat, like it was like a church hat, but it was made entirely out of braids. I was like, damn, it was so good. I had to write it down. Like
it was so, the costumes were so good. They were
so good. I was like, her wedding dress, the wedding that like,
I want to curse. That's how bomb the wedding dress was.
It was so bomb. I was like, how? Who made this? I want to talk to you. Like
some ruffles.
Looks like costume design was by Ruth Carter. At this point, I expect nothing less.
Nothing less. Okay. Topped her. I mean, this was just.
It was phenomenal.
The best, like, representation. I almost feel like it was like a love letter to everything black. Every time they did like a dance or a presentation, it was just black. Like you said, why are we on the Midnight Train to Zamunda? I don't know, but I'm on it.
That was
and I'm having so much fun. I'm watching it felt like I was watching Versus. I don't know what's going on. People just here doing what they want, but I'm here for it. Like it was so entertaining. It was so entertaining.
It was.
That was, yeah.
There was one line in particular that I wrote down because it was one of the ones that I actually cracked up laughing. And he was like, who? Oh my gosh. It was the son and then, no, I'm sorry. It was Semi and then it was, who was the uncle played by? I can't remember.
Oh,
Tracy Morgan.
Tracy Morgan.
Yeah. And he was like, you're just like an American pimp. And he's like, you're just like a slave from the future. I was like,
that was the one. I wrote that one down too, because
the line that really got me, and I'm so happy they showed the outtakes of it, because I think it was Sherry. I'm not sure how to say it. I'm so sorry. But when Leslie Jones was like, why are the mashed potatoes black?
Yes, wait. The second part of it. It was when they followed it up with it's caviar, and she said, "Oh, we got a cousin named that."
Bro, I was crying. I was like, I know she did not just fucking. Why are the mashed potatoes black? I know she did not just say that, bro. Like it was so. I don't know. I think it's because like there's so much blackness to it that only black people can really get. Because like I feel like that mashed potatoes, why is mashed potatoes black and we have a cousin named caviar, it's different for us than it does for someone who's not black.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I thought it was so stupid, because I know it was improvised.
It had to be.
Know it.
You know.
It was just even funnier because after I started thinking about my cousins, and I was like, I actually do have a cousin. Her name's not Caviar, but it's very similar. And I was like, oh Lord.
The other line that I wrote down was when they were in the barbershop scene. So I infamously loved the first barbershop situation. So funny. They came back even stupider, even funnier. But when they were talking about the Geek Squad calling them Nazis now, I was just like, bro, what is this movie, bro? The Geek, and it's so funny because like you don't even see the Geek Squad no more. It's just, there are so many perfect moments, even down to McDowell being sponsored by Pepsi. That is such a smart joke.
Yes,
that's so smart. And if you don't know anything about the history of like Coca-Cola and McDonald's, that joke went over your head. Like it was just so many pinpointed things that I was just like, wow, this is a fun time.
Mm-hmm. For sure. What killed me was when they first stepped off the bus and there was that big ass Fashion Nova product right behind their heads. I said, Fashion Nova's gonna do one thing. They're gonna get their money.
They're gonna get that coin. Okay. They're gonna be on screen.
Mm-hmm.
That was funny.
Oh my gosh, that was hilarious. I'm trying to see what else I wrote down. I literally, in my notes, I put like in Vogue ? Salt and Pepper ? Gladys ? Like I just started listing the people that I was seeing. I was like, what? I loved it. Like it was just amazing.
Same, but I think my favorite was Tiana Taylor, just because, first of all, I just love her. Okay, her music is so good. She's gorgeous, and she can act. Like the total package. Honestly, Tiana could have been the main character, and I would have enjoyed it probably the same amount.
I do wish that she had more screen time. Like the way that they advertised it and like put her name in it, I thought that her role was gonna be bigger. And she was just there to be the body and the face, and that was it. And I was like, I mean, I guess.
Because they knew the people would come when we saw her name. So
True.
Also, I love to see Jermaine Fowler out here doing his thing. I saw him, and the only thing I was thinking, I kept thinking that he was on Wild 'N Out until I Googled him and I realized I recognized him from Guy Code.
Yeah, he was on Guy Code.
Guy Code, which
I was like, I know I seen him from MTV. Him and like Nicole Byer. I mean, not Nicole. No, Nicole Byer. And like everyone who came out of Girl Code, they're just like embedded in my brain. So when I see them in other stuff, I'd be like, I know you from somewhere.
I know you. But for some reason, Guy Code and Girl Code seems like a fever dream almost. Like it didn't even happen. I just recognize the faces.
So many faces. Like, oh yeah, you're this person. Yeah, I for sure. Another random person. Why is Michael Blackson in it? What's going on?
What is going on?
What is his name? What's Wesley Snipes? Wesley Snipes.
Oh,
Easy. Let's call him Easy. What's his son? It started with an R.
His son?
His son. Who was in it?
Ito.
But what's his real name? It's like Romy or Romy T or
yeah.
I'm not even gonna try. But like, it was just.
So many people.
I also wrote, baby, I haven't seen a shake weight in 10 years. Cried. These men out here, tears. I literally wrote Michael Blackson, unserious. It was lovely to see Wesley Snipes on screen.
It was.
Because I don't know of anything that I've seen him on screen post him being incarcerated. So it is just very nice to see him on screen. He was very funny. His hairpiece, killing it. I thought he was a great person for what he was, like in the movie. Also didn't recognize until this movie that the other country's name is Nextdoria. And I didn't realize what they were saying until I read it, until I had to literally read it in the closed captioning. I was like
next door?
Yes.
Oh God.
Yes. I was like,
just like
this movie is
I didn't even know.
I promise you. I was like, they kept saying it, and I was like, are they supposed to be next door because they're next door to the king? I was like, oh
my God.
My God, this is so stupid.
Oh my God. Stupid. The one part that I was also cracking up was when he was like, I still didn't forgive you for what you did to my sister. And old girl is still barking and hopping on the one leg 30 years later. I was like,
was struggling.
Release
release her, please. That was the perfect callback.
It was.
All the callbacks were really good, but that one, I actually did laugh. I laughed very loudly.
Yes, because it was ugly. That bark was not barking no more. She was
She was shocked. She's like,
I was like, "This is so ugly."
No, and then he
So
was
ugly.
releasing her, and she was like looking normal, and then she barked at the dude, and he was like, "The hell." It was hilarious.
It was too much. I mean, even with the sexual tension guy, or what did they call it? Sexual chocolate. I was like, oh, show me. It's like if someone was like, I bet you this movie can't get stupider, you would lose that bet. Like, and then he brought out the twins that was rapping from he brought them out, and I was just like, wow.
Peaches. Yes. And after Akeem and Lisa's fight in the bedroom, when like they had that big fight, and then were they in the hallway or was the door just open? I don't remember, but they came out and all of the guards, like they had to tighten up again. It killed me because me as an employee, I would be talking.
Oh, but dead ass though.
I'd be talking all the shit, and I know all of them. Get them together on the DL. I just know it. And that thought alone made me laugh as somebody who's held a job.
Another part that really killed me was, well, the fact that they put a McDowell's in the middle of Africa is just the funniest visual. That was just top tier, so stupid. But I thought it was really funny when he went to McDowell's because he just said, I like tomat. And then they were talking about McDonald's and he was like, they tried to come for me from the McFlurry, but I put my toppings under the ice cream. I was just like
why?
Like, why is this your pep talk? He was like, they be trying to come for me, but we're different. We're not even the same. And I was like, sir. And then there was a McDonald's ad in New York when they fell, and it was when they landed, and it said like real bun, real sesame seeds. Like it was such the callbacks. This is what I expect out of a movie that is a sequel of a comedy specifically. I expect a good callback. It had a great cast. It was great to see Tracy Morgan on screen again. He was hilarious. What else did I put? I thought that, so two things that like have nothing to do with the storyline, but I thought were really interesting from a film perspective. I did not know they used de-aging in this movie, and they had to de-age Arsenio Hall and Eddie Murphy to make them look younger when they did the scene with Leslie Jones of him getting her pregnant. The assault scene. Yeah, that they had to like de-age them. I thought that was really good de-aging.
Wait a second. So that wasn't the original footage, like when they were in the club?
Because Leslie Jones looked like, which by the way, her performance spectacular. But
I can't believe we haven't talked about her yet.
I know, we got to get to her. We got to get to some main character people because they were acting. But no, Leslie Jones was dressed like a younger person, but Leslie Jones looked the same the entire time in the movie. But they had to de-age Arsenio Hall and Eddie Murphy because they look very different. You can't make them look young. So they started the de-aging when Simi was walking through the club and was talking to Leslie Jones and her friend to get them to come back to the apartment. That's when they started the de-aging. So that wasn't after that, none of it was from the original movie. And I thought Eddie Murphy's looked a little shaky when she would like pull back and forth when they were doing the kissing. But I thought for a movie that has to do a lot of callbacks and stuff, I thought they used it very smart. And they did not use it a lot. Some movies in Hollywood overuse de-aging, and they used it just enough to get to the main point of why he has to go back to Queens. And I think that was great. A second thing I noticed, I don't know if you guys noticed, I like to watch the credits. And I noticed that on the slate, this was called The Quest. It was not called Coming to America. And I didn't look it up, but I do wonder if they called it The Quest for when they wanted to shoot stuff outside so people would know. But this movie looked like majority of it was on set. So I wonder why they called it The Quest. I thought that was a fun fact, an interesting
The
fun
Quest
fact.
makes no sense. It's flavorless. Like there's no kind of curiosity in it. I'm glad they changed it because I would not be watching this movie today.
Well, sometimes when they film, they put their productions under fake names so that people won't know what the production is. Obviously, like, if you were like working something that even wasn't with the script on the movie, this is Coming to America too. But like, I'm wondering if like for documentation purposes or like when they're in public, they didn't want to actually put Coming to America on all the signs and stuff, but they just did it that. But I was like, The Quest. It's like, I wonder how that came up. And I was like, interesting. That was a interesting little thing that I saw.
Yeah, I wonder about the outside filming because like I saw that they filmed a lot of it at Tyler Perry Studios, and then the other part I didn't see the studio name for that one, but I'm assuming like for the city scenes, like when they were walking around New York and stuff like that, maybe. But if they were just because like the end credit was like when they were at the table, right? Is that the one that had it on there for the slate, or was it like?
It was when it was one of the first end credit scenes, and I want to say, all I know is that it was Arsenio Hall, and I think when they clapped the slate, he like looked at the camera and made a funny face. I think that's where the only time I saw the slate in there. But I will say, I think the only outside parts of this movie is when they are outside on the street of the sidewalk.
Right.
I don't actually think they filmed a lot of the movie outside.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, now that I think about it, unless they were in like either on the street or like in that field with the lion.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. That was probably
I think that's it.
A real place. That when they went to the church, that looked like a real street.
Church.
Oh right, yeah, church.
And when they were in New York visiting the barbershop, but the barbershop is a set. Right. So they only ever had to film. So I don't know. It looked like they cut down the amount of stuff that they had to film outside. And maybe that's because it was the pandemic or.
Yep, that is a very good point.
There's more options. You can build sets a lot easier instead of having to go to like a McDonald's and make it a McDowell's. Mm-hmm. So I don't know.
And they're on Tyler Perry's lot. I'm sure that man has everything that you possibly need.
Everything.
So, yeah. But honestly, that's kind of like the end of my notes, really. Like I said, I didn't feel that much.
So
yeah, I'm gonna just.
So then we can talk about some of the performances, starting with Leslie Jones, who is just
phenomenal. It was phenomenal.
Leslie Jones
was so good.
I don't think there's a thing that I've seen with Leslie Jones that I don't end up laughing. Like, she just worked. She bounced so well off of the rest of them. Mm-hmm. Like, I feel like a lot of it, yeah, she's reading the script, but I feel like she improvised a lot too. Like, she did so well.
And I love that she actually, like, her character had a actual presence. Mm-hmm. Like, for example, I thought Tiana Taylor would have a bigger part than Leslie Jones because I didn't know anything about the story, the way they marketed it. But she was literally like a main person in the movie, mm-hmm. which was just so, the amount of comedy when she was getting head in the tub.
Oh,
whenever he was going under there. And she kept trying to like shoot him away. And that dude came out and was like, this is hilarious.
You need to go back and check again. I was cracking.
This is a great time.
Cracking.
Yeah, that was very funny.
Yeah.
She was very funny. I thought that Arsenio Hall and another scene that I want to talk about. I thought I wrote it down. I didn't. I thought it was really funny that they put him in a coffin in his funeral.
I forgot. Okay. Oh my God.
Okay. I forgot all about that. Was not thinking about it.
The fact that when he said that he wanted to have his funeral while he was still alive, I was like, what's about to happen? And the fact that this man, I was like, I know y'all don't have James Earl Jones standing there this whole time in this coffin. Like,
he said he
who
wants
thinks
to
of that?
He said, y'all not about to mess up my funeral. I think not.
Period.
And then when he said, I'm just gonna die now, felt that, like just bow out gracefully.
He was like, this was us.
He's all right, I'm done.
He was like, that was the best performance.
I'm gonna die to Gladys. Gladys singing Midnight Train to Zamunda. Why not?
Why not?
I came, I was here, I saw, and now that's it. Bye.
Bye.
Yeah,
love letter to the girls. I'm out of here.
He said, I'm killed over. I wonder, I guess I have to look this up because I don't know, but I wonder why, hopefully, I wonder why the sister wasn't. Like the sister of Lisa? Was that her name?
Did Lisa have a sister?
Remember the overly sexual sister?
Right.
The one
Yeah.
that sleep with everybody?
They said we don't need her. What was her name?
But maybe that's not why. I need to see if she's alive. I didn't want to say that, but sometimes that's why.
Sometimes.
Oh, like the actual actor.
Yeah, like the actual actor, which I appreciate if that is the case, which I hope not, but them not recasting her.
Yeah.
Some movies will do that. They will just recast a person and leave it at that. And I don't necessarily think that goes over well. Yeah. I don't know. I'll look it up. I don't remember her name. It's too much research. But
it's a lot
it
right
would
now.
have been great if she was in the movie. I would have loved to see where her character was.
I thought that it was so fun that Lisa finally had a buddy from Queens to hang out with.
I know. I thought it was so cute.
It up.
I thought it was really cute. Yeah, I thought it was really funny. I thought they did really good special effects work on all the different characters, especially the old, I think the character's name was Baba, the little
Baba.
witch that kept spitting on people.
Pocket.
So much. Oh my God. You know what else was out of pocket? That whole foreskin scene was so.
Oh my God. Okay, let's get into it.
Because I'm just saying, there's so many moments in this movie that you literally cannot remember all of them at once.
Yeah.
This foreskin scene.
But like, he was already circumcised, so they're just gonna.
They said we're gonna do some. His mom was like, just let him do a little off the top.
Just take a little off the top, baby. It's all right. No, it's not.
The fact that he actually let him do it.
And then he had a ring of foreskins, bro. And I was like, oh, this is so fucking disgusting. Like,
and then they put it in his mouth.
And then on top of that, like, why? Then the ring for Akeem was like bigger, and then they went to Leslie and Lisa, and I was like,
oh, you're like,
no, they would.
Oh my God.
He put that foreskin in his mouth like it was like a dried peach or a dried mango or something.
But it was sweet potato, remember? He didn't really cut him off. He didn't put foreskin in his mouth. Like, it was a sweet potato, I guess, or something that they had sitting on there. So when he cut it, it was foreskin, Bobby. He didn't put foreskin in his mouth.
Listen, I don't put anything past this movie.
He did not put foreskin in his mouth. It was a potato or whatever, which I do wonder, maybe he was just so scared he didn't look down. I feel like if I was a guy and I looked down and that was supposed to be my private part, I would be concerned. I would be quite concerned. If he was just like, okay, I guess. She said, just take a little off the top. It's good. It's the tradition.
It's fun.
But
I would have been so mad, so pissed off if I'm sitting there freaking out and everybody start laughing because they cut a sweet potato. I would have had to throw hands at somebody.
And now everyone knows what your penis looks like.
Soft. You get the little thing.
Soft.
And that's the real horror of it all. It was soft.
You make me want to say your middle name, Bobby. Like a parent. Like a parent.
Oh. She's not wrong.
Because it was. And with all of that, I still really appreciate the whole lesson out of it. You know, like you put your pride to the side, let all these people see your penis, was about to get it cut off. Now you're ready to become a prince.
A prince to a man that you met 4 days ago. You gonna cut your penis for?
You gotta suspend your belief for this movie, because if you analyze the first one is just as stupid. Like the first one equally does not make sense.
Yeah,
very true.
Equally does not make sense.
That's true.
There were a couple of times when I had to let my logic take a back seat, like the whole scene where she's getting head in the bathtub with the man. Like my first thought was like, why is he walking in the bathroom in his mom's bathroom? Like just period.
I don't know. I know some people's families be like that though. Like
she was naked.
Some mothers walk around their house naked around their children.
Well, yeah. And I guess he is a son, and you know, mothers, how they be treating their sons, it'd be a little different. It'd be baby.
I thought, yeah, but I thought it was more interesting that he went in there to tell her that. Yeah. Not necessarily that he walked in there with her sitting there, but I thought it was more interesting that you went to go tell your mom that there are 3 women that is about to bathe. Like, are you going there to get permission? Like, you seem pretty happy about it. So why did you have to run that past your mom? But maybe they were trying to make it like he's a mama's boy. So
yeah, he definitely was. Cause I mean, sometimes like things are just so shocking. Like you just gotta wait a second. Mom, you're not gonna believe this shit I'm about to do. And then hang up, you know? So
I do that to my
mom. Felt that.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
All the time.
But something that I was wondering about are their accents. I don't know much about the accent continuity that was going down, and if it was like all in the same country or same region or whatnot. But I was wondering how it would sound to somebody who is African, you know, and knows accents. Well, African accents better than I would.
Yeah, I would assume that they were playing like soft caricatures of them, not necessarily like to make fun of them, but like, I don't know. I just seemed like something they had to carry over.
Oh, for sure. I would just hope that they picked a country and stuck to it, you know, because like a lot of people were talking about in Black Panther, like the accents were all over the place. I would just hope that it's not like that this time around too. But you know, they had accents in the first movie, so I mean, yeah.
I may have also had like a dialect coach too, because like I know some movies will have that, but I don't know if I wasn't even really paying attention to the accents to even notice if like they were somewhat different. So I don't really know.
I could absolutely believe that their accents probably weren't accurate, and that they wouldn't get the same amount of backlash as Black Panther.
Oh, no.
Because I think I'll say it once, I'll say it again. This movie was stupid. And I think that was like the point of it. And it's a certain like humor from I guess the late 80s, 90s. Like it was very much not of this era. I think Black Panther had a responsibility with Black people and they had to get it right. Yeah. I don't think this movie had to get anything right. They just had to show up at their call time if they did that. So I do agree. People were like roasting Black Panther over it, but I think Black Panther has such a responsibility. They had so many things they couldn't drop that people were for sure going to be very nitpicky over the first like Black superhero from the DC universe that's from Africa. Obviously, we know like technically Blade is the first one that was introduced, but we know how that goes when it comes to the current MCU universe. He's not in it yet, and he's not even going to be cast as Wesley Snipes anymore. So I would be also interested to know that. So now I think, unless anyone else has anything else to say, I think we are coming to the end of our episode, which means that we need to put a rating down. Okay? We need to put a rating down. So, guys, what are your final review point system hot combs of Come to America, how many are you going to give it?
I want to hear Bobby's.
Okay, well, that's funny. Okay, so it was a very, I guess, like typical hero's journey plot line, like nothing special. We've seen it before, but that's the whole point. We're not here for the plot. We're here for the humor. I'm glad they added performances because we love Gladys, we love some Tiana, plus the dance breaks. Trevor Noah really pumped it up for me, but I'm gonna have to give it 1.5 hot combs out of 5. Yeah. I just didn't care that much. I just, it was hilarious. Okay. It was funny. All the jokes landed. And I can't even tell you exactly why. I just don't care. But I just don't, I will not be rewatching. I probably won't recommend it to people. The first one was too good. That to the point where the second one to me, it just couldn't measure up. I think I gave the first one 5. This one, I'm gonna have to stop at 1.5.
Do you want me to go, Danielle? Or
I'm in shock. I can go.
Shocked.
I am perplexed.
I thought you were gonna say like a 3.
I thought a 3 was like generous but
1.5.
You follow your spirit wherever.
As you should.
I am.
No matter our facial expressions.
I loved it. I thought it was hilarious from the first scenes to the end. I thought it was a good old time. I laughed out loud. The costumes, 1,000 out of 10. They did not disappoint. The music, great. The random cameos of 50,000 people, amazing. I loved it. I give it a 5 out of 5. 5 out of 5. That's all I have to say. Bobby.
Okay. A 5? Wow. I was not expecting that.
I guessed in the first 20 minutes and I did not care because I knew how the movie was going to end.
True.
I'm going to break your heart too, Bobby. It's a 5 out of 5.
5?
5?
It really could be a 6 out of 5 if you really want to. If you really want to, it could be so much.
Wow.
Call me childish. That type of entertainment, love it. It's stupid. I want it all. Eddie Murphy, big fan of. I'm a big fan of so many. They even had Lunel in the movie. I mean, this movie. When it comes to sequels and it comes to the remix of Black movies, this movie did it. It hit it on the head. I feel like if you are going to make a sequel to an old movie from the 90s, 80s, or you're going to remake it and it's a Black movie, if it is not like Coming to America, don't touch it. This movie was so great, even down to the classical remixes of old, even like the motif of Coming to America. You can hear it in classical music. You can hear it in African beats. Like, it was such a detailed movie. It was grand. It was Black. It was unapologetic. It was stupid. It was just everything I wanted Coming to America 2, because that's what Coming to America 1 told me. That this sequel is going to be stupid. And honestly, I have to be honest, I didn't think it was going to be that funny. I didn't think it was going to be that good, mainly because I heard a couple of names were involved, but I'm not going to say that and who it was. But I will say that they did not ruin the movie, and I was pleasantly surprised. The daughter did her thing. She was out there killing it. It's honestly, I mean, I would have given the first one a 6 out of 5, but like they're here. It was like a yin and yang. They don't need to make a third one. It was a perfect puzzle piece. A 5 out of 5 for me.
I am flabbergasted. I was expecting like a 4. Maybe like a 4.25.
Bobby, this movie was perfect. It was
Perfect.
so
Oh
good.
my gosh.
It just feeds into my childish, stupid humor of jokes that are inappropriate, but I want to laugh at them.
Yes.
It was just so 2000s, 90s. It was so like they didn't try to be politically correct. And even the jokes that they made about being politically correct were inappropriate and stupid.
They even mentioned the sequel in the movie. They were talking about like
Come
how
on.
sequels, like they don't care. And then they broke the fourth wall. I was like, yes.
Eddie looked at the camera again.
Eddie.
It was
It just,
chef's kiss. It was chef's kiss.
it really was.
Just
well, I love that for you.
if you will.
Bobby
It
was
just-
watching like the bootleg version because we clearly were not watching the same thing.
I would not. I will say, I probably wouldn't rewatch it, but I would rewatch it over other movies that we watched and
Yes.
reviewed for sure.
Yeah.
There's a lot of movies that I would probably and have given a 5 that I probably wouldn't necessarily rewatch, but it has rewatchability for sure. It's funny. I feel like this is a movie where if you watch it again, you might like find and pick up on something that you didn't see before. A good Easter egg movie. Yeah, I thought it was funny. I thought it was hilarious. They can't do a movie without Eddie Murphy, so they can't do a Coming to America 3 where like Jermaine comes over and takes over the kingdom and is trying to teach his son up, because Eddie Murphy would probably be killed off like his father was in this movie. So you can't really like make a movie without him. But
I would say if they did make a third one, I would probably watch it. Just because I'm in it now, like let me see what you got. I'd probably watch a series too, like if they made it into a TV show.
Really?
Yeah, I think I would.
But you still gave it a 1.5.
I did. Because the plot was boring.
Boring?
Okay.
B word.
That's like what you said, like we all knew how it was gonna end. And especially like once you start working in film, I just feel like you can't watch stuff the same. Like I guess plot lines like nothing nowadays. And sometimes it takes away the fun. I mean, I still had a decent enough time. Like I wasn't
Is 1.5 decent?
That's
Or
where 0.5 is coming in.
Or is it, you know what? We're not judging you. What I will say is you could guess the plot of the first one. It was just very consistent. It was a consistent movie back then and there. And I also will say, as someone who like does work on sets, I feel like that it was probably fun as fuck to work on that set. Like it was probably so. Even I want to see more outtakes, even down to
outtakes.
Yeah, even down to in the outtakes of Jermaine Fowler doing the I'm not even gonna do it. The ice cream bit with the whiskers. If you know it, you know what I'm talking about. If you don't, look it up. Eddie Murphy's famous ice cream, I got ice cream bit. Even Jermaine doing that. It was just so funny. They obviously couldn't. They probably could have put that in the movie if I got the whiskers. Like they could have put it in the movie. And unfortunately, when she did it, Eddie Murphy was like, "Hey, that's my thing." But like, it was just so. I wish I was on that set.
That is another thing I liked. I love a blooper reel, and I wish that we saw them more often. I was so surprised to see a blooper reel at the end of the movie. Like it's like 2004 again. Wow.
But that was the point. That's exactly like that was the consistency. I think the first one might have had one. So like Amanita's one in the second one too. Like they did so many callbacks. It was okay. Well, final ratings closed. Closing them. Two of us feel one way.
Okay.
One of us feels another. There is no right or wrong way to feel because this is a safe space.
Very true. Yeah.
But it was a great movie. So, all right. Well, that's been another episode of Hot Combs and Popcorn. Thank you for watching this highly entertaining episode while we review Coming to America 2. Again, I've been Bree.
I've been Bobby.
And Danielle.
And if you haven't already done so, please follow and subscribe to us on both YouTube and Apple Podcasts. Throw us a like, share this episode, and leave in the comments below. Have you seen Coming to America 2, the sequel? Okay. Did you get it or did you get to see it when it first came out? Did you watch it in the panoramic or did you wait until afterwards? Or have you seen it? And if you haven't, watch it and tell us how you felt about it in the comments below. What are your thoughts on it? And if you ever have a submission, you can also tell us what you want us to watch, movies or television, in the comments below or on Instagram. Okay. So as you guys know, it's that time. Okay. Them street lights about to come on. And I ain't trying to get no whooping. So I gotta go. They gotta go. And we'll see you guys next time. Same time, same place. Bye.
Bye.